We are on winter storm watch this morning.
And we are bringing you live team coverage. Meteorologist Rob Karl Mark tracks the snow. Jordan Tolbert get us all caught up on any travel impacts if you're traveling via road. First, though, let's check in with Monica Coleman, who's made her way up to snowy Nyack. Monica.
Hey, good morning. So we drove up this morning and it was smooth sailing, but the key is to take it slow. The rain is starting to come down now and the wind is blowing it sideways, but take a look behind me. You can see they aren't letting anybody pass this point at Nyack without chains. There's a sign that warns you chains are required. The speed limit is 30 miles per hour. Four-wheel drive with snow tires are acceptable, but you need to be carrying those chains. We're at the Nyack Shell gas station right before you go onto I-80 going towards Reno. But the snow was not coming down this morning as we were heading up from Sacramento, but we did see very heavy fog as we drove up I-80. We saw several truck drivers pulled over on 80 taking a break as this journey can be difficult with slick roads and the need for reduced speeds. Chain controls are in effect. You can see the icy roads as you come up this morning. Visibility was very difficult coming up to Blue Canyon exit. Caltrans is checking for chains at the Nyack exit as you saw earlier in my hit. And CHP Truckee says dangerous mountain travel is expected now through late Wednesday night due to heavy snow over Donner Summit. And as we were here at the Shell gas station, we did meet up with a truck driver who says he's been in the game for over 20 years. And this morning he is teaching younger truck drivers how to put on those chains to make sure they can get up the mountain safely.
The bigger one, they have a little clip on there, just hook up, and you have to tie the smileys on it. Make sure these pace outside, keep outside. A lot of drivers, they put these pace inside, that way it start rubbing the tire. By the time you cross the hill, you lost the tire too. So that's that face, that thing's supposed to be out. And there's a big truck, they have a little smileys. They have 4 smileys on there. A special tool just tie them up. So that way, easy to tie it. So this one, you have to pull the chain thing. This is, I'm doing it first time.
You heard him. He said you don't want to lose a tire, so you need to put those chains on correctly. Another tip he had was, again, drive slow. He said a lot of the young truck drivers these days think that they are better than the roadways and they can go as fast as they want. He says he goes 20 miles per hour even if the speed limit is 30. Also, it's a big reminder this morning that you need to add some extra time to your commute because you will be having to drive on those reduced speeds. But if you want to park here, it's going to cost you about $30. The truck driver also told me one of his big tips is to wear a reflective vest just in case you need to pull over on the side of the road so that other drivers can see you. So let's go ahead and talk about the temperature because it is cold out here. And Rob, the rain's coming down. What can we expect throughout the rest of the day?
Well, Monica, it may be a little bit warmer than freezing where you are, but it's definitely going to be snowing later on this morning at your location, right around 5,000 feet. So, folks, with this storm, we will talk about the rain later on, but really, it's especially driving in it. It's a number of things. It might be the wind, the visibility, the ice on the road that you saw just behind her. So there's just a lot of things all at once that just make driving really tricky. But when it all comes together later today, when this is here, we're talking about heavy snow, a couple inches per hour, 50-mile-per-hour winds. With that combination, it's going to look like this. And that means that you may be able to drive, but you're going to go really slow. And at some point, because of the strong winds and zero visibility potential, you could be looking at whiteout conditions and they will close the road. So this is going to happen from basically now all the way through tonight. The other thing we're seeing in the background is just a lot of really heavy, dense fog in some spots and low visibility. So this is a number of things that's going to make driving one of those things. It's going to be really tricky today. Now, the wind is starting to blow. You can see that at that location. It's going to pick up big time in the next few hours. And temperatures for the valley spots, let's not forget about you. We're in the 40s now with cloud cover, and your chance of rain is going to be right in the middle of the day between noon and 3 p.m., and then it's going to be over. So we're just giving it a little bit more time for all of this to come together, and it's definitely coming. Look at the rain potential. Look at the snow. The thing that's really going to, I think, trick people is that once this heavy rain comes over the coastal range, it will rapidly start to slow down. So we're looking at rain, but I think the totals are very much going to be on the low side. Here's the driving conditions right now, and this is ahead of the storm. Not looking good. It's going to get worse. So very quickly before we wrap things up, specific to this storm, one thing that's helpful, it's the middle of the week. Mostly we've been talking to truckers because those are the ones that have to make the drive in the middle of the week, early in the morning. No, mostly this is just snow, very little valley rain. And I think of all the things, visibility, when it's all coming together later this morning, will be the biggest issue.
Alrighty, well, good Wednesday morning. So when it comes to chain controls in California, you have 3 levels of chain requirements. You got R1, R2, and R3. So I asked South Lake Tahoe CHP officer Ruth Lohr to really break it down for us. So R1 is not seen too often. Lohr says things are usually nice and light on the roads at this point, and you should really just carry your Caltrans approved traction control devices, which includes chains. So R2 is the most common, which is what we usually see when chain controls go up. This means chains or traction devices are required on all vehicles except 4-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, and those must have snow tread tires on all 4 wheels. Officer Lohr says those tires may say things like M+S for mud and snow, so just know what type of tires you have before you go. You don't want to get turned around. Now, Lohr says Caltrans is very good about monitoring which cars actually get through chain control.
And even if you are an all-wheel drive or a 4-wheel drive and you live in the city and you've got city tires on it, you are not going to make it through chain control with good reason. It is absolutely unsafe for you to be traveling with tires like that in these conditions. It just does not do you any justice. So please check your vehicle ahead of time.
Now, Officer Lohr says R3 is rarely seen, and oftentimes that's the point they'll shut down a road. She says that means everyone has to chain up. It says people with all-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive are often told they're not supposed to put chains on their vehicles. So read your owner's manual to find out what to do for your particular car. I linked more information from Caltrans about chain controls on our website. That's abc10.com/links.
There's a lot to know about there. All right, Jordan, thank you. Good